Well, guys, in what will be a shock to no one, health passports, COVID passports, or 1940s papers, please is back on the horizon, because of course it fucking is. As you know, we're living through some of the most batshit crazy times where medical discrimination seems to be progressive and good despite all of us knowing it's bloody not. Last year we had all these media spunk trumpets screaming about how only restrictions against people would disproportionately affect ethnic minorities, only for this year to see the very same people singing the praises of medical apartheid because they have the consistency of a wet fart. In fact, I am yet to see one political fuckpig, media spunk trumpet, or anyone outside of normal people online calling this out for the utter lunacy that it is and will always be. As a matter of fact, the media are openly promoting this as being planned for September or October to encourage the young to get vaccinated when as it stands the government think many don't want to, and the article even mentions dropping take-up rates to prove that. Of course, this is blatant coercion and actually goes against various international rules we are signed up for, as David Davis stated here during a parliamentary committee on this shit show a few months back.
And so there are a variety of good reasons for people not to take a vaccine. I've had a vaccine, and I think most of the reasons are not ones I would subscribe to, but people have that freedom. Now, what this proposal does is, in effect, coerce those people. And that's also against a number of international conventions we're signatories to. And indeed, just recently, the Council of Europe passed a resolution saying, 732 said, that ensure that citizens are informed that vaccination is not mandatory and that no one is politically, socially or otherwise pressured to get themselves vaccinated if they do not wish to do so themselves, and ensure that no one is discriminated against for not having been vaccinated due to possible health risks or not wanting to be vaccinated. And this explicitly does that. This explicitly discriminates against people who have not been vaccinated. And as I tried to explain with my parable at the beginning, it doesn't actually provide protection for the rest of the population. So those are the sort of backdrop. The other point I'll make, Mr. Jones, is this. Between May and July, we will pass the hurdle of herd immunity in this country for the single strain, not for other strains necessarily. We don't know about that yet, but we'll pass herd immunity for COVID-19.
Now, I've mentioned the resolution he cites in that clip in a few videos before and linked it down below if you want to check it out, but as founding members we're meant to abide by these rulings. So if they do bring it in and it's not just being used by these scumbags to coerce people, it should be fairly easy to beat in the courts. Me, I plan to boycott any place that entertains it should it come in, and will back anyone taking these lunatics to court for blatant discrimination. I find it truly sickening that the government and media have resorted to such desperate and scummy actions to get people to do what they want. Not surprised, but sickened, I have to say. Of course, they are forgetting the fact that pubs and clubs wouldn't be able to enforce this bollocks anyway, and a hit to their profits likely won't go down well, let me tell you that. This government is walking a fine line with this one, I think you would agree, especially after 472 days of what was meant to be 14 days to flatten the curve. Some of these people have done all you've asked over the past year and are gonna start questioning what the fuck they're doing with this. The more rules and coercive tactics they use, the fewer people will actually trust them, with more people waking up and thinking, hold on a minute, why have the goalposts been moved into a completely fucking different sport yet again? Their backtracking and outright bullshit is making people question them more and more each day, as I've pointed out a few times. Continuing to shit on businesses like this is only going to help people wake up. That is, of course, when the government's not doing itself with the blatant hypocrisy that we have seen over the past couple of months. Obviously, all of this is a dangerous load of bollocks, and like I've said many times before, a fucking slippery slope. The businesses that are involved in this shit show need to get themselves out there and say, hold on a fucking minute, we don't want this, we can't enforce it, this is a load of bollocks. As to whether they will or not is a completely another matter and not something I really have control of. We can only hope that they will. Now, as always, my website is linked down below, along with my Odyssey, BitChute and everything else, if you want to follow me outside of YouTube. You can leave a like on this video, subscribe or share it if you want to, but for now I am off like a fart in the fucking wind.
Where